Celebrity breakups have always been the prime focus of the media, especially when they happen between two high-profile celebrities. When a couple gets divorced or breaks up, the reason can sound just as strange as the craziest storyline in a daytime soap opera. And we're not just talking about A-list couples who seemingly met and married in one fell swoop. Funky circumstances have also derailed celebrity duos that have been together for decades. So today we're going to show you the strangest reasons that cause celebrities to break up. But before we get on with that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for the channel. Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra. Folks get tipsy and do regrettable things at wedding receptions all the time. It's a bit more rare, however, for inebriation to be the main reason for a marriage to happen in the first place. But that's exactly what happened on November 14th, 1998, when NBA star Dennis Rodman married Baywatch star Carmen Electra in a booze-fueled Las Vegas ceremony. 9 days later, Rodman had already filed for a divorce, citing fraud and unsound mind. It is my understanding that before the ceremony, Dennis had been partying extremely hard, and he just doesn't feel as though he had all of his faculties about him when all the other things occurred afterward, Rodman's attorney, Gerald Phillips, said at the time. As embarrassing as that sounds for everyone involved, Electra told the Los Angeles Times in 2020 that she had no regrets about her time with Rodman. However, that sentiment seems to have evolved. During a 2014 episode of Oprah's Where Are They Now?, Electra said she was in a period of self-destruction following her mother's death when she met Rodman. She describes her relationship as passionate yet chaotic, as both were partying to avoid personal demons. Electra also revealed that she had instant regret after the quick wedding, and they were probably married for about a year. Ultimately, Electra was the one who filed for the divorce in 1999 during the April period. And this is the weirdest thing we've seen between two celebrities, Kris Humphries and Kim Kardashian. It's clear that Kim Kardashian is a very savvy businesswoman who's made some very clever, calculated moves in order to become famous, not to mention the most wealthiest person on the planet. But is Kim so ambitious that she'd fake an entire wedding for television ratings? In 2012, it was reported that Humphries wouldn't sign divorce papers until his former spouse admitted the wedding was staged by Kardashian and her family. They were married for just 72 days, after tying the knot in August 20th, 2021. The ceremony was a glitzy affair, reportedly costing $10 million. It was televised over 2 nights on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and raked in a ton of cash, including an alleged $1.5 million alone from People just for exclusive photos. As for Humphries' knee-jerk assertion that Kardashian duped him, he seemed to backtrack on that in a lengthy 2019 essay for the Players Tribune, in which he wrote that their relationship was 100% real. That kickback was kind of surprising, given the fact that just 2 years earlier, Kardashian made the cringeworthy confession on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen that she only married Humphries because of her biological clock and how it was ticking. She further twisted the knife by saying, "But I knew, like, honeymoon, it wasn't going to work out." Well, yikes. That one's a bit of an ouch. Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman married in 1998, and from the outside looking in, it all seemed well. They had kids, Maya and Lavon, and Hawke said that he went from a cool, critically acclaimed actor to a full-time babysitter. "I'm living in a hotel room taking care of my kids, while you're on a film set 6 hours a day doing what you love," Hawke said in an interview. After Hawke and Thurman's 2005 divorce, Hawke eventually ended up marrying Ryan Shawhughes, who was the couple's former nanny. Thurman said at least he partially agreed with Hawke's assessment of what went wrong, although the nanny didn't come up during a 2005 interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show. The Kill Bill star did, however, say that she didn't work a lot between the years her children were born, which gave the former couple a lot of stability. Wouldn't you be speechless after hearing something like this? Number 4. Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock. For many, Sacha Baron Cohen's Borat brought knee-slapping laughter, but the film may have also brought about a divorce to Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock after the cowboy singer saw the film. Rock repeatedly said that he hated the outrageous comedy, which centers around Cohen's character Borat wanting to marry Anderson. He saw a screening of it at Hollywood bigwig Ron Meyer's house, and let's just say he didn't give his wife a standing ovation. Barat started screaming at Pam, saying he had humiliated himself and telling her some pretty outlandish things. It was all very embarrassing. A friend of Anderson's told the New York Post in 2006 that Cohen somewhat confirmed the story years later when he discussed Anderson and Rock's marriage on the Last Laugh podcast in 2019. The English actor said that he asked Anderson through text how Rock liked the film, and she wrote back saying that they were getting a divorce. When he asked why, she replied, "The movie." "I thought it was a joke," Cohen said. A few weeks later, they did get divorced, and they'd only legally been married for 4 months at the time. Eddie Murphy and Tracy Edmonds. One might say that a disagreement over a wife taking her husband's last name may lead to a tiff or a full-on argument, but a divorce? That's reportedly what happened to Eddie Murphy and TV producer Tracy Edmonds when they were married for a mere 14 days in 2008. Although the ceremony was not legally binding, they planned to make it official once they returned back home to the US. But those plans halted after a disagreement with Edmonds taking Murphy's last name. The pair had a pretty epic fight just 2 days before the wedding, when they probably should have been basking in the anticipation of their big day. After Edmonds and Murphy returned from Bora Bora, they released a statement saying they would no longer be seeking a legal marriage and that the ceremony was representative of our deep love, friendship and respect that we have for one another on a spiritual level. About a month later, the R&B singer and Murphy's longtime pal Johnny Gill spilled the beans that Murphy's mother had actually nixed the marriage in the bud after she clashed with some of Edmonds' guests. Edmonds, who signed a confidentiality agreement with Murphy, still denied Jill's claims through her reps as false spin and outrageous lies. This has got to be one of the weirdest reasons for a breakup. Mario Lopez and Ali Landry. When it comes to bachelor parties, there's two types of guys in the world. One type may get wild, but he doesn't forget that he'll soon be walking down the aisle. The other loses himself in the fun and does something careless to wreck his relationship. Mario Lopez falls into the latter. In 2004, during April, he wed actress Ali Landry, but the marriage lasted only 2 weeks, despite the pair having dated for 6 years before getting married. Lopez lied to her about where he'd be for his bachelor party. Then he cheated. Landry found out right before the wedding. She filed for divorce in June 2004. 7 years later, Lopez admitted to Howard Stern that he cheated, saying he messed around with another woman. The Saved by the Bell star also said he wasn't a mature enough man to control himself at the shindig. Lopez explained that her sister received a photo of him and another woman at the party. Landry talked about the cheating on the Wendy Williams show in 2012, explaining that she heard something right before the wedding. She also said that she tapped Lopez's phone shortly after their honeymoon, and various women began calling her. It's safe to say that the jig was fully up at that point. Now that's just sad. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver. Celebrity divorce stories don't get much more scandalous than this. Arnie had an affair with his family's longtime live-in housekeeper. It's not that strange, but the actor turned California governor also fathered the housekeeper's son, Joseph, while married to Maria Shriver. In his memoir, Total Recall, My Unbelievable True Life Story, Schwarzenegger wrote that he tried to convince himself that he wasn't Joseph's father, but by the time the boy was school age, his striking resemblance to the action star was undeniable. And to add even more weirdness to the whole thing, his live-in housekeeper also had her son less than a week after Shriver gave birth to her 4th child with Schwarzenegger. Shriver was suspicious of Schwarzenegger's paternity for years, but the Terminator star denied it until he finally confessed in a couples therapy session one day after his governorship ended. That was effectively the end of their marriage that they officially announced when it happened a few months later. Then they divorced shortly thereafter. Schwarzenegger spoke with Good Morning America in 2012 about the affair and explained why he allowed Diana to still live with the family in their home after she gave birth to their son. It's worse when you start getting rid of people because it's kind of like punishing someone for having been in the situation, he reasoned. So that's the best way I could handle it. Sherry Shepherd and Lamar Sally. Sherry Shepherd said that she thought that her TV writer ex-husband, Lamar Sally, married her for love when they swapped idos in 2011. But before their 2015 divorce, Shepherd accused Sally of tricking her into getting a surrogate in order to have a baby so that he could collect child support. According to TMZ, Shepard did indeed sign a contract with a surrogate, but when baby Lamar Sally Jr. was born in August 2014, Shepard didn't want custody or any financial obligation. In 2015, a Pennsylvania Court of Appeals ruled that Shepard had to remain on the birth certificate and keep paying child support, which was said to be the sum of $4,100 a month. Soon after the court's decision, she publicly blasted Sally and threw a shot at her first husband, with whom she also shares a son, for good measure. And she also tweeted a few pretty nasty things. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Actors Johnny Depp and Amber Heard arguably had the worst public breakup in recent times. After meeting on the set of their movie The Rum Diary, the two started dating around the beginning of 2011, as per Insider. In 2015, they tied the knot. However, the two called it quits just 15 months later in 2016. Their divorce became the talk of the town. However, it became the primary focus of all the tabloids and news outlets in 2019 when Depp sued Heard for defamation over an op-ed she wrote for the Washington Post in 2018. On April 11, 2022, Johnny Depp's defamation trial against Amber Heard started. After extensive coverage of the defamation trial on June 1, 2022, Johnny Depp won the case against his ex-wife. A year later, the case trial started. Both Depp and Heard now seem to have moved on with their lives. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West started dating in 2011. The two first met in 2000 but became friends in 2008, as per Brides. Soon their relationship was the talk of the town, and in 2013, the pair welcomed their first daughter, North. They then went on to get married in 2014, and West and Kardashian share 4 children together. After nearly 7 years of marriage, the couple split up in 2021, and then Kardashian was declared legally single on March 2, 2022. In March 2022, an issue of Vogue said that the Skims owner opened up about her split with West, stating, "I did what made other people happy, and I think in the last 2 years I've decided I'm going to make myself happy, and that feels really good. And even if that created changes and caused my divorce, I think it's important to be honest with yourself about what really makes you happy." No one could have imagined they'd actually ever split up. That's a wrap for this one, guys. Let us know which of these breakups really blew your mind and you thought would never happen. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any new content from our channel.